Driving a cab wasn't glamorous, but it was honest work. For me, Andrew, it was the only way to get by. Most nights were uneventful. Drunk passengers, the occasional talker, and long stretches of silence. But that night changed everything. It was just past midnight when I spotted him. A man in a loose business suit flagged me down outside a shuttered mall. He slid into the back seat and said, "Airport, please." His voice was calm, steady, almost too steady. I didn't think much of it at first. I'd had my share of quiet fares, people buried in their phones or lost in thought, but there was something about him. He didn't fidget, didn't check the time, didn't even glance at his phone except to hold it. Just still. 15 minutes in, he broke the silence. "Do you ever think," he said, "about how much one decision can change everything?" I glanced at him in the mirror, unsure if he was talking to me or just thinking out loud. "I guess," I muttered. "I made a decision once," he continued, "that ruined lives, including mine. Funny thing is, I didn't even realize it at the time, not until years later." His words hung in the air like smoke, thick and suffocating. I tried to focus on the road, but my grip on the steering wheel tightened. "That's so?" I said, trying to sound casual. He leaned forward slightly, his eyes meeting mine in the mirror. "I'm going to the airport because tonight, after 10 years, I've finally made peace with that decision." My heart started to race. Something about the way he said it, so calm, so final, put me on edge. Then he pulled out a folded piece of paper and held it toward me. "Take this," he said. "I'm driving," I replied, my voice barely steady. "Nah, take it," he insisted, his tone leaving no room for argument. I reached back and grabbed the paper, shoving it into my pocket without looking. When we arrived at the airport, he handed me cash. Exact change. As he got out, he turned back and said, "Don't wait too long to read it. And remember, sometimes life only gives you one warning." I watched him disappear into the crowd, my pulse hammering in my ears. For a few moments, I just sat there, staring at nothing. Finally, I pulled out the paper and unfolded it. "Deliver this package and they all live. Ignore it and they all die. You've been chosen to decide." My stomach dropped. Below the note was an address. I didn't know what to do. It could have been a prank, but something told me it wasn't. My hands shook as I started the car. The address led me to a rundown building on the outskirts of the city. Outside the door was a small parcel, unmarked except for the words, "Deliver to the police station. Do not open." I stood there staring at it, every nerve in my body screaming to leave. What if it was a bomb? What if I was being set up? But then I thought about the note. They all live. Who was they? I grabbed the package and drove straight to the nearest police station. I could barely get the words out when I handed it over. They took it into the back while I waited, my mind racing. Minutes later, an officer came out, his face pale. "Where did you get this?" he asked. Someone gave it to me," I stammered. "What's in it?" He didn't answer, but I caught a glimpse of what they'd found. Photographs, videos, files, evidence of crime so horrifying I couldn't comprehend it. The next morning, the news was everywhere. A massive criminal network had been exposed, its members arrested in a citywide operation. The package had contained everything the police needed to take them down. I should have felt relief, but all I could think about was the man in the suit. Who was he? Why me? And what if I hadn't taken the note? Even now, every time I drive at night, I glance in the rearview mirror, half expecting to see him again. Part of me hopes I do. The other part hopes I never will.
That's it for today, guys. You can submit your horror experiences and stories through the comment section. Please like this video and also make sure to subscribe the channel. It'll motivate me. See you guys in another one. Peace out.